She called her book Family Secrets, a book Catherine Slaney felt compelled to write after learning not only was her great-grandfather a doctor, a Canadian, that he was there the night a great American president died, but the biggest surprise was learning that he was black.
I have gradually pieced together a very remarkable story.
As a young girl growing up in southern Ontario, Cathy Slaney knew nothing of her black heritage. It was never spoken of by her father or anyone else.
It was whisked under the carpet. If anything, I am a little bit embarrassed that I don't really have a personal stake in my black history, nor did I know very much about it.
This was his.
And this was his.
But in later years, as she learned more about the man who owned this sword, through her great-grandfather's archival papers and journals, she uncovered a family journey that involved discrimination, civil war, and ultimately, the assassination of a president. It was 1863, and the not-so-United States of America were tearing themselves apart. Civil war raged. Among other things, black slavery hung in the balance. A young Anderson Ruffin Abbott was ready to serve. He had enjoyed a life of privilege, at 23 graduating from the University of Toronto as Canada's first black medical doctor. But he knew about the discrimination his father had faced back in the States, and he was determined to help Lincoln's cause.
Having the ability to actually, in his mind, hopefully be able to make a difference.
Yeah, affect a change.
Yeah, because he really, felt it was a privilege to be able to be in that position, and he used it to the best of his ability.
He became one of only 8 black doctors in the entire Union Army, held the honorary rank of captain, eventually oversaw a large hospital in Washington, even moving in the same circles as the president himself.
I think that they were in and about the White House a little bit and in those social circles as much as they could be.
Which would have been highly unusual.
It was highly unusual.
Abbott also became good friends with Mary Lincoln's dressmaker and lady-in-waiting, Elizabeth Keckley. And on that fateful night, after an assassin's bullet struck down Lincoln, Abbott went with her to the president and Mrs. Lincoln's side as the president lay dying.
I think he personally grieved deeply for not only Mr. Lincoln, but also for the cause and the many people that were about to suffer, as things unfolded.
It was something Catherine Slaney's great-grandfather didn't write much about, his relationship with the president and what unfolded that night. But after her husband's funeral, Mary Lincoln did something that spoke very clearly about the relationship Dr. Anderson Abbott had with the now dead President of the United States, giving him the president's personal shawl.
There it is there.
Rosemary Sadier of Ontario's Black Historical Society.
And I think that, in honor of that and as a way of trying to find something really meaningful to give to Abbott, she wanted to give him something really special.
Cathy now thinks his silence may have been out of respect, to protect the relationship he had with the great man.
Maybe he was deferring to a code of, I want to respect his privacy.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think there was a lot that went unsaid and unwritten on his part.
For that reason.
For that reason.
After Lincoln's death, Dr. Anderson Abbott returned to Canada and became a man of prominence, writing for international publications, serving as coroner. When he died, he was buried in Toronto's necropolis, itself an indication of the stature he had achieved in the community.
Never drawn in anger.
The ceremonial dress sword is the only touchstone they have left now. The shawl has long since been donated to the Wisconsin Historical Society's permanent Civil War collection. But this will remain in the family, a reminder for generations of a great-grandfather almost lost, but now celebrated. Reg Sherren, CBC News, in Georgetown, Ontario.